Yo, 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 another Saturday morning. Let's get it going. Welcome to Habari Live from Habari Live Studios in Phoenix, Arizona, where we're going to bring you news, sports, entertainment, and we'll be coming to you in the next hour. Every week, we will bring the top news stories that matter to you, hoping to keep you informed so you can make better decisions for your life. Join us as we bring revealing interviews as well as tips and politics on Habari Live with me, Damon Ellison,
Aisha Rowan.
and how was your week, Aisha?
My week was pretty good. It's pretty decent. I started my first week of training this week for someone that got hired at my job. So
Oh,
they're
big
trusting me
thing.
to train new hires now. And I've only been there a few months.
Oh,
So that's pretty
making
good.
big moves.
Right.
Big moves, big money. So you'll be making a million in a minute, right?
In the next 5 years.
That's the mission, dog. Got to get that million.
Right.
We've had a crazy week in news this week. We've had a lot of things going on. Some big takeaways. So we're gonna go straight into the news weekly. And the first thing we want to go across is the takeaways we had from the Kyle Rittenhouse trial this week. Testimony has come to a close in the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, the 18-year-old charged with homicide after he shot and killed two protesters at a demonstration in Kenosha, Wisconsin, in August 2020. The protests in Kenosha began after police shot Jacob Blake, a 29-year-old black man, on August 23rd, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down. Multiple nights of unrest followed, with rioters destroying police cars and burning and damaging businesses. On August 25th, ahead of the third night of protests, Rittenhouse, then 17, drove from his home in Antioch, Illinois, across the state line into Wisconsin, where he intended to protect businesses from unrest. He was armed with the AR-15 style rifle. In a series of confrontations with protesters there, Rittenhouse shot and killed two protesters, Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber, and wounded a third, Gage Grosskreutz. I hope I probably destroyed that. Rittenhouse faces seven total charges, including two counts of homicide, one reckless and one intentional, and two counts of reckless endangered safety. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges, which is insane. And I was arguing with a guy today, this week, and he was saying that a punch, if you punch somebody, that their hands are can be a deadly weapon. And we argued about that for a while, but if, I think I've what I read up on it is that some people can, or if they are in certain situations, martial arts, boxing, that they can have their
Right. If
hands
they have certain
registered.
training, like
Right,
military combat, boxing,
right.
self
And these are
defense.
only certain people.
Right.
But then at the same time, how would you know that this person's hands is registered if you didn't know them? You know what I mean? If you knew them, okay, but if you didn't, how would you know? And
If
to
their
make
hands
that
are
right, to
registered as
make
a
that
weapon. Right.
decision that you're going to kill him, you know what I mean? I mean, he was arguing that hands are deadly weapons. I mean, maybe in the martial artist, Mike Tyson, you know what I mean? But a normal Joe, this little guy, no, his hands are not deadly weapons,
Right.
bro. So if
And
he
for
was
him to
trying
be
to,
17 with an AR-15,
yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I guess it was legal for him to have it. I don't know. Was it illegal for him to have it? I think
uh,
you got to be 18 to have
you have
one.
to be 18 to even get one.
I don't know.
And then you have to be 21 to get a handgun
Like
in
I
most
said,
states.
I'm not sure on that. I didn't read up on that to be sure on how he was able to carry this weapon. And I don't see. I mean, this he does face seven charges, so some of these
Are any of
charges
the
could
charges
be.
included weapons
It
charges
could be,
or
but I don't. Like I keep telling you, I don't even really see what that matters. He killed people. You know what I mean? Those charges are minuscule compared to murder.
if somebody else gave him the gun, would they be
I mean,
charged
his
too?
mother knew, but what you gonna charge him with? Charge her with? I don't know. I don't know on that one, man.
She gave a minor a gun?
Look, man, we have loose gun laws in America. I don't know. I can't say. I don't even want to start saying something that I don't know. You know what I mean? Because it's how can you say if I mean if he took someone else's gun, you would think if they not don't have it locked up that that person would face some type penalty, but I don't think America does that to everyone. They, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of a hard situation. But also, pivotal testimony about the first shooting came from a video producer at a right wing news site. Nearly 3 hours of testimony Thursday came from Richard McGinnis, a video producer with a right wing news site, the Daily Caller. McGinnis was in Kenosha that night covering the protest as a journalist. I didn't know that. A lot of they said a lot of the footage came from him of what was going on. Um, so and also, two other armed men who came to Kenosha that night were also key witnesses. That included Ryan Balk, who described Rittenhouse as a little under-equipped, and a and he said describing Rittenhouse as a babbling idiot. That was one of the people who was killed, um, and repeatedly testifying that he believed Rosenbaum did not pose a danger to himself or anyone else. So that kind of hurts the testimony
Rittenhouse.
for Rittenhouse because he it's pretty much telling him that he wasn't a threat, and that he had faced guy before, and the only thing he did is he tried to shout him down, and he just walked away from the guy. But dude, being 17, he was ill-equipped for this situation. He's under-equipped, and he shouldn't have been in this situation. Why his mother let him go to this? Who knows, man? Who knows? I mean, who knows why she let a 17, or if she knew? She probably knew. But I mean, these
She
are.
took him down there, didn't she?
I think so. I think that was it.
Yeah, his
No, he ain't got a ride with some local or with a group of people across state
Um,
lines.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So he
okay.
rode with another. That's William, who is our engineer here. So yeah, that's I don't know, bro. I just don't know, man. You he caught a ride with some other people. So, I mean, just where did he get this gun? He got it. He
Right. That's the ultimate question. Where did he get the gun?
man. Also, the two other men. Oh, I'm sorry. Video has played a prominent role, including never before seen FBI infrared footage that was caught also. In addition to the widely shared photos and videos, the jury also saw something new to the public infrared footage from Rittenhouse encounter with Rosenbaum, recorded from an overhead by an FBI airplane. It's pretty crazy.
They had the FBI airplane out there that night.
Yeah, I mean, because I told you it was so much going on. You had riots, you had fires, it was so much going on. So, I mean, you had I think the National Guard was out there too, weren't they? Weren't they?
I'm not sure. They
I'm not,
may have been.
but I know it was pretty bad.
But I know the National Guard ended up coming out in the George Floyd case.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. The judge who's been having issues with the jury, he said he's not taking risks with the jury and public confidence. On Thursday, Judge Bruce Schroeder dismissed one of the 20 jurors for making a joke about Jacob Blake, whose shooting was whose shooting by police triggered the protest. It was my understanding it was something along the lines of, why did Kenosha police shoot Jacob Blake 7 times, said prosecutor Thomas Binger. It's my understanding that the rest of the joke is because they ran out of bullets. Wow. And this is one of the people that was on the jury. How did he make it? And no other black, only one black person made it.
There's only one black person
It's
in
only
his
one
trial?
black person out of the 12. One. 11 are white.
Because I thought that's how it was for the Ahmaud Arbery case,
That's
too.
what I thought too.
Mm-hmm.
So both cases have only one black juror.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. That is, that's just sad.
Yeah. Hey, that's how it be. And they were talking about how it's better to have a because we're so much of the population, it's better to have a good balance of race when you come to a jury. Because when we have juries that's all white, black person tends to go to jail more in those situations.
Right.
They tend to convict black people more in those situations. So just same things, man. Same things over and over. We having issues with trying to get justice, trying to get legal protection. but the lawyers are trying to do what they can to defend their case or their
Right, but there also has to come a point where there are more more black people have to become lawyers. That's just that.
yeah.
Because we have to, if we want the jury selection to match the communities, we have to be the lawyers that we got what, one black lawyer that's prominently known for handling all Black Lives Matters cases pretty much, and that's Benjamin Crump.
Right.
Like, we have to have more lawyers that are out there willing to fight for us instead of depending on defense attorneys provided by the state.
Yeah, it's we definitely need to have more people that's representing our own. We can't depend on them,
Because that's where it starts, the representation in the
right?
courtroom.
Because when they come in, they're going to try to get rid of all the black people because they know that
They have a
in
higher
9 times
chance
out of
of
10,
convicting
they're
someone if it's
gonna
only
they're gonna have a mind state to convict Rittenhouse.
right.
Um, so that's the situation in those things. They try to take out the black people because they feel as though they're gonna have
They're
more,
already biased.
like they're gonna have more bias towards the person who's being convicted. In this case, Rittenhouse, or in situations where police officers are on trial, they believe that black people are gonna have a bias towards them, which
They do.
most cases they probably will because they're going to look into the other person's situation instead of the police, like what people always do. They
Right.
always see the police side. It needs to be people that look up the other side and say,
Look into the actual
hey, right,
victim side.
sometimes it needs to be that way. So we definitely need to start going uh, into these cases. Jury duty. It's not enough of us that do that.
But you know what? What
We
happens
don't
with
also
jury
we don't
duty?
also don't get called to jury duty as much
I've
as
gotten
other
called to
races.
jury duty twice, but I've taken the card and said,
Right, and that's what most of
and
us
that's
do.
what we do.
Right,
We just take the card
but
and throw it away and
it
act like we
also
never
is
got it.
it also has been proven that we don't get it as much as other races. We
Right.
don't get
They
invited.
get the
I
jury.
don't think I've ever been invited in my whole life, ever. I've never been invited. You know what I mean? What they gonna bring me in for? I'm probably gonna side with the murderer. Even set up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
So
when they did invite me, I was like 18, 20, maybe years ago. But that's what we do though. We take the jury duty notifications and we just dismiss them. But we need to participate more in jury duty, being lawyers, being in the courtroom, being judges. We just have to, because if we're not in the courtroom where it actually affects people, because if the judge has to go by the law and they're a black judge or white judge or whatever, then why can't the jury have come to some type of, why can't it be half and half, half black, half white, or half black?
well,
Just have a good mix of all the different type of people in the community: black, white, Asian,
I think that it should be
Middle
it
Eastern,
should it should be a representation of the
of the person. That's
no, of the community that you're in.
right. That's what I'm saying.
Right. If you're in a all black community, it's kind of weird that you have an all white jury. You
Jury,
know what I'm saying?
right?
When you're in a black community, how did that happen? Or just like the Ahmaud Arbery case, 27% of the
The community.
population is black, and you can only get one black person. Now I'm not 100% on the Rittenhouse if it's only one black person, but I know that it was nine. It was at the last panel, it was 11 women and 9 men. I don't know what I know that Kenosha County is 75% white, and the jury was still overwhelmingly white. I'm not sure if it was only one, but I know it was overwhelmingly white for this jury also. So it's like I said, man, they have to make this more fair in these situations because as you're getting biased. The lawyers are picking who they want to be in the jury, and
Mm-hmm.
which is to me, I don't think is fair in the first place.
Right.
I mean, they can say, "Oh, this guy, he got on black shoes. I don't like him. Get him out of here." Or this dude, he looked like he might.
But
I mean,
that's not that
that's
that's not how they do it. They have a series of questions that they have to ask the
I
jurors.
know, but
And
if they don't ask the questions,
if they don't answer the way that they think it should be answered, then
right,
they kick
they
you
cross
out.
them off. But they can
Right.
come up with any reason to remove them, though. They don't need a reason, a big reason to remove someone. They can just say they don't want them there. They don't have to come up with a reason. So that's what I'm saying. They can be like, I don't like the way this guy's dressed. I don't like the way this guy does this, and they don't have to be removed. So I mean, when it comes to that's why some people are so they hate the justice system because it's so against everyone. And if you don't have money,
Definitely.
if you're not in the right places, right times, then you can be railroaded. And
And
that's
especially the poorer community,
right,
the
exactly.
people that can't afford to have
And that's why
lawyers
in the
on
OJ
retainer.
case back in the day,
Right.
they fought so hard to get black people on the
On the
on the
jury.
jury because they knew that was gonna make a difference, and it ended up doing making a difference. You know what I mean? It's you where it's at, the community is at. All those things make a huge difference,
Definitely.
and getting innocent and guilty in these days. But I digress. We The House has passed a $1 trillion infrastructure plan, sending it to Biden's desk. After months of tense negotiation, the House of Representatives has passed a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, 228 to 206, fulfilling a major priority for President Biden's domestic agenda and cementing a political victory for the Democrats. The measure includes significant investments in roads, bridges, railways, and broadband internet. It passed Friday night largely along party lines, like always, with 13 Republicans joining. That's a big
That's big.
surprise.
Right.
And 215 Democrats in support of the legislation. This should be big, man. With the internet, the railways, new bridges, investments in roads. I mean, going to California and going back to Illinois. Oh my goodness, the roads are just
Right.
it's ridiculous to be in a supposedly first world country and our
And our
streets look like
roads.
third world countries.
Right.
You dodging potholes. You go to
Left and right.
Illinois. Oh my goodness,
Go to Detroit.
man, it's horrible. And
Look, so a
California,
whole person can fit in a pothole in Detroit, and a truck can
man,
just drive right over them and still won't hit the person.
you break your whole axle fucking with them motherfuckers. Then left your whole tire, rim, everything in the pothole, and we haven't did anything about it. And finally, they get something passed that should help. I hope also that they can get this internet to rural places and poor areas
Definitely.
for people can be able to afford it more,
I think,
and the price of this internet can go down because it's ridiculous how much internet costs.
right, my
And
sister was telling me that she paid like $95 for internet.
yeah, internet should be free, man. You just like the library. You should be able to go in, read, take all the information in that you need.
Yep.
The
I agree.
internet should be free. It's the 21st century
Yep.
library. You didn't have to pay to you had to pay to rent books and take stuff out. You didn't have to do
No,
that.
you didn't. You just had to sign up for a library card.
Well, if you were late, you know what I'm saying.
Right. If
You
you
know what
was
I'm
late
saying. Right.
returning a book, it
You
was
had to
like what,
pay.
10 cents,
Right.
20 cents.
Right. Some
But
places have removed the late fees and they've been getting more books back.
wow.
I ain't paying that late fee, bro. But yeah, they it's it's sad that we want to charge people for the internet and we only want to give people who have money to be able to afford it to
Right.
get access.
And
I
then they
just
want to do deals like I think it's Cox that do the deal where if you get food stamps or state aid, you can
right
get
there
internet for ten
they'll give you
dollars.
some type of help on the internet.
Right.
It
Or
should
school age kids, you
right.
can get internet for like ten
It should be free
dollars.
everywhere, man.
Right. It's ridiculous.
I just I don't understand why we have to make money off the internet. It's stupid. Let's get some people a chance to get educated. And well, I hate to say it, people learn the wrong information any goddamn way. But still, if they're going let's give them a chance to learn this
To
wrong
learn
information.
something, right?
Because I just think that we just need to internet everywhere.
It has to
I
be.
think it was Nashville who put it into their cable lines, where the internet goes through their cable lines all through the city for free,
Yeah.
and they have like 5G also, some of
Yeah.
the fastest internet in the
I think
nation.
that's something that we should probably look into doing too.
Every city should do it, but we're always focusing on the wrong things.
Because if this one little city can afford to give their entire city
Mm-hmm.
free internet,
Right? Why can't the nation do
and the community, it's the city itself has it's raising education, kids are having better access to school, and now that schools are starting to be online
it?
because of
Mm-hmm.
the pandemic, and kids are being at home, parents are being at home, working from home, and you got all these people at home now because of the pandemic. The internet should have evolved with it and become more available
Yeah, yeah,
to everyone.
most definitely, I agree. It definitely should be more available. And also in politics, New Jersey and Virginia races were won by both Republicans. So the Republicans feel good about their win, and they think it may be a bad sign for Biden and the Democrats for more seats in the House and in the Senate may be lost when the races come up. Um,
I just have one question. Why Virginia? Just
People don't
why?
pay attention to this stuff, man. And you know that's it. I tell you
And
all the
then
time. We partying and kicking it right now.
the governor elect of Virginia, Youngkin, his son tried to vote twice, who is underage. He's not even old enough to vote yet.
They're Republicans. They always cheat. They
But
cheat.
I thought Trump said we was cheating.
They cheat. They always cheat. All right, we're gonna go take a break for a second here. Go into a commercial break. We'll come back with the Hollywood Heat. And welcome back here. We're gonna go into some Hollywood, what we call it, the Hollywood Heat here. We talk about movies, um, what's going on in Hollywood, and a little bit of sports also. I like to talk about. We got first we have the movie Eternals. My man William said he fell asleep.
Um, our mics cut off.
When?
I don't know, but I'm not hearing nothing just now.
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe it's just me then.
Yes, it's 100% just you. Anyway, so the movie seems I'm ready to go see it. I'm pretty pumped about it. It looks like it should be pretty good. We have a lot of big artists in the movie here. Uh, Eternals, the Marvel cinematic universe has never shied away from tossing major narrative bombs into films after they've quite literally ended. But what Chloe Zhao's Eternals offers a few more twists in the formula. Not only does the Oscar-winning the first Marvel feature conclude with plenty of tumble setting for more, I'm sorry, table setting for more action to come, it does that within both films' primary running time, and in a pair of post-credit scenes, the usual land of it's going to be. It had two post-credit scenes this time, so let's see what it goes. I'm pretty excited about the movie, man.
I am too. Like, I know a lot of people reviews online say it's trash, but
What, you seen that already?
yeah.
I ain't seen that.
Well, I'm gonna put it to you this way: the ones that I have seen that don't like it, don't like it because of the homosexuality scenes,
Oh God. Yeah, but they was
and they're like, "Here they go trying to push the gay agenda again." That's that's kind of where I've seen it at.
From the scenes that I've seen, that I was awake for. It wasn't all that bad.
He said for the scenes that he was awake for.
Right. Well, the story, what it was, Jack Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
He created these in the 70s, and I think this is the guys, this the Eternals, and I never really was into the comics, man. I'm not gonna even lie to you. So them bringing them to the big screen, I'm not as excited as some of the characters in the past, but I just want to see what they do, how they tie it into everything.
Right, because I thought first maybe like Marvel usually comes out with like short, like an animated short or some type of cartoon or something to let you know they're introducing new characters or they're going to be bringing characters to the big screen. But we never even got that with the Eternals. Like, so to me, I never knew they existed. So this is going to be like a whole new.
Well, they supposed to been secretly hanging out on Earth for thousands of years, so it was a secret, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to tie into the secret invasion.
No,
No.
that's that's the scrolls. You know that.
Yeah, but the Eternals can help with that though, right?
No.
Like they did with Endgame, just bring everybody together.
Well, I figured that's gonna be a show. We wonder how much they're gonna go into that. But I figured the show, the Secret War show, is
Will
I
give us a
mean
glimpse into it.
what was it? What's it gonna be called?
Fury Files, no.
No, Secret Wars. No, it wasn't Secret Wars.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, there you go. Secret Invasion. So that story, it didn't have any of those people in it. I know they changed a little bit about it, the stories as they come from the comic book to the movies,
Mm-hmm.
but none of those people were in that story.
Oh, okay.
So you've seen that story
Yeah. But I just was wondering, like, where does the internals fit at into the MCU?
before. That's why we gotta watch, right? Because I have no idea.
Like, I've never even heard of any of these
Right,
characters.
you will be guessing, and that's always a bad thing.
And I get my hopes up and look like these people on YouTube.
Right, like they did for Wanda, and then be disappointed
Right.
when it's none of the things that they said was gonna be.
Exactly.
Looking stupid. But we had big stories with in sports with Aaron Rodgers, A Ryan this week. He
Aaron.
he came out that he did not take the COVID vaccine. Um, that he said he was immunized, but now it comes out that he's taking Invectin,
Ivermectin,
ivermectin, which
which is a horse drug.
the horse. What I don't
It's like a
understand.
horse deworming drug. Like they give it to the horses and stuff that's pretty much sick. It helps sick horses,
He
like a
also
tranquilizer for
right.
them.
He also said he was allergic to a couple things that was in the vaccine.
So he's allergic to some of the ingredients. Okay, if that's a reason why you can't get the vaccine, just say that I'm allergic to some of the ingredients. At that point, they can specifically make a vaccine that's tailored to your immune system and give you a combo drug that does not have that ingredient in it.
But these
But
on
people aren't smart enough to
these
know that.
online doctors, they don't know shit, but they think they know every fucking
If
thing.
you're allergic to an ingredient, they can give you a drug that
This
doesn't have that
this
ingredient.
guy here talking about cancel culture and the woke mob are to blame. No, cancel culture and the woke mob are the people that you're with. That's the people who talking about I'm woke. I ain't taking that shit. That's the
Right,
woke people.
right.
You're with them. You're with the conspiracy
I don't
theory.
know what this gonna do to me in 5
Right.
years.
That's what my homie told me. I'm like, dog, you don't know what nothing you take gonna do to you in 5 years. Like, man,
Let me ask you this.
hey, man,
Did you die after any of the vaccines you received as a baby?
they.
For polio, chickenpox, mumps, measles,
I don't get the. I
typhoid?
don't get the online doctors, man. I don't get it. He had a chance, and then he comes, and then the thing is, you have a higher percentage of getting it, and every time these people who won't get, they the ones that are coming down with it,
The people who are unvaccinated are the ones that are are getting COVID and dying of COVID now.
and then they're the ones spreading it, but they don't want it. To, it's my decision, dog. Well,
Your decision is killing everybody else.
that's why you need to stay your ass in the house. You
If
can't
you
leave the
don't want to
house.
be vaccinated, you can't leave
In the,
home.
stay in the house. We don't. You don't want to be a team player. Stay in the house. This I understand. Like I say all the time, I understand being anti-society. I understand not being a part of what this shit is. Because society sucks. Everything sucks. It all sucks. But ain't what can we do? I want to get back to normal. We got imports and exports stuck.
Right.
We can't do anything. You got to show vaccination cards. Man, let's just get
Look,
back to normal. Everybody, if we get to
we can't.
herd immunity, so whatever, I think it was 70%
70%.
vaccinated, we can get back to fucking normal, man.
Right.
But let's keep playing around and all
We
these
would
people.
rather sit here and look at the grocery store shelves empty out. I couldn't find one can of formula for the brand that our baby drink, that Demi drink, on the shelf. Not even in liquid. The store shelves are so empty. They're like, oh, we don't know when we're gonna get our next shipment. But I don't want to get vaccinated.
Well, like I said, man, as long as we don't, as long as this stuff is gonna keep going the way it is. I mean, I understand a lot of people are against it. I get it, but man, I don't want to go through a third year of this shit, man.
Right. We've been in this shit since 2019.
I don't want to go through this shit for another year. We can't do anything. I haven't ate in a restaurant in damn near 2 years.
Since the last time, right? The last time we ate in a restaurant was March of 2020.
Like, dog. But Aaron Rodgers, being selfish, I think it's selfish. Me myself,
It
and
is
especially
selfish.
lying because he wasn't meeting the protocols. He wasn't wearing the mask.
Yep.
He just walking around like he's normal Joe. That's just messed up, man.
And by him saying that he's immunized, yeah, you might be immunized, but you're immunized for other
Man,
shit.
man,
The
he's
shit
not
that you got when you
immunized.
were a
Man,
kid.
come on, man, get out of here, man. Rodgers, he needs to get roasted just like Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
He needs to be the donkey of the week or the ass of the week or whatever, just like Kyrie Irving was. He needs to be dragged just as hard.
Definitely.
Neither one of them are team players or are thinking about the team or what needs to go on with the team, and I
Right.
think that's unfair. Me myself, because you got to think about it like this, man. It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You know what I mean? This is not a situation where we're just doing something at home. This is money
Right.
being made. This is not your home, man. So if this is us trying to make money, and you got to understand the NFL is going to do everything they can to protect their product, or the NBA,
Yep.
or me, you. If I had a business, I couldn't let people come in here that's unvaccinated, then get me sick. I get sick, my customers get sick. Then we
Then
got to
your family gets sick.
we got to shut down.
Right.
You lose way more. Now I done lost everything. I got to take a chance to try to get back to normal,
And
or
the only how you gonna do that is by getting
or
vaccinated.
take the chance to lose everything.
Yeah.
I don't understand which option. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
I don't get it
to me,
either.
A Ron's his explanation is garbage, and I just think that I don't know. I think they should do him like Kyrie, make him stay home until he
I think
gets it.
so too.
Because I don't think that he's on the team with 22 other people on the field, and you could spread this at any time. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
Not only the 22 other people that are on the field, you got bench players,
Right,
you got
journalists,
staff, journalists,
right,
and fans are in the stands.
right. And one of these people, if they were to be, if they was to have
Pre-existing conditions.
pre-existing conditions, or if they have something that's going on, and how bad would you feel that you spread this to them and
And got
you,
them
and
sick.
you killed them? You're gonna be like, well, that's on them. They shouldn't have pre-existing conditions. This I could do.
Well, they
without.
should have got vaccinated. What? Huh? How you gonna say somebody else should have got vaccinated?
No, no, they don't care about that. They just want to see people. They don't care. If you die, you die.
It's on you.
You should have took better care of your health. Is what they're saying. You know what I mean? It's messed up how people think, man. You think if you die, you die. You should have ate better. I'm gonna be all right if I get it. So you if you
So everybody think that if they was Dr. CB and ate the way Dr. CB ate, that they was gonna be all good.
we don't even want to start on that, man. A lot of people dislike me.
That's exactly how I bring it to him every time. Like, how y'all think that being healthy and eating and living the way Dr. CB was is gonna help
We
you
don't
when he
do
died
that,
of pneumonia?
but we don't do that though. We don't follow any of his teachings. In the first, we just holler it when it's convenient for argument. We don't follow the teachings. We eating at McDonald's, Popeyes. You see who meals they got
The sweetie,
the sweetie meal. The
the Travis Scott meal,
Megan who are they doing that to? Come on, man. We know what we're
the
eating. We're eating
Megan the Stallion.
we're eating horrible. You know what I mean? And then we're saying, well, health. Okay, we're leading in diabetes and high blood pressure, bro.
Right.
We're obese. Like we can't live life on both sides of the fucking scale and only use arguments when we feel like these arguments help us. If you're living a healthy
Well,
life,
I'm
then I'm
fat and I'm
agreeing with you.
still healthy.
No. Some people think that, but
You can
I
be
don't
fat
even
and still be healthy.
I don't want to go down that road. Anyway, um, we also had Kanye, his interview on Drink Champs. I took a moment to take a look at that. I'm not a big Kanye fan.
That's all
Uh,
I could do.
it was very. He's such a scatterbrained person. He's all over the place.
He's scatterbrained.
He
He's
he
conceited.
can't hold a thought for more than 10 seconds. But
I
hey,
think,
he's a very successful person. Very successful. He You got to give it to him. He's a
but I do
media
think that he
genius.
may have some form of undiagnosed ADHD because he can't focus on anything.
Who knows?
His attention span is freaking short as fuck
Who
on
knows?
any subject.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not gonna sit here and try to say this man guy. He might. I don't know. That's on you.
I'm just saying, based off of the conversation that I
I
heard
know. No, he
out of that,
can't.
like,
He can't keep a thought, and he can't remember his thoughts from 2 seconds ago. I
right,
mean, that's real. But
like he couldn't even remember the word peer.
I mean, you're not gonna. Sometimes I stumble over words. It happens, man. We live. It happens. But keeping a train of thought is my thought. I was like, yeah. But he does have a lot of good points, man, that I agree with him on. There are some things I agree with Kanye West on, like the excuses that we as a people make, and he doesn't agree with those excuses anymore. I agree with that. The fact that we can do and be whatever we want, we can make the paths and make the things that we want. That's important. That's real. I agree with that. Us fighting and dying over blocks that we don't own, or telling motherfuckers what blocks we can't come to and we don't own the blocks or do anything to take care of the blocks. I agree with bro.
That's definitely true. Because
I
if you ain't doing anything to clean up the
clean the
trash,
trash.
mow the lawns, make sure the houses and the curb appeal is all good on
Make
every
the city
block,
is clean.
right?
You know, I see it every week on the East St. Louis page. They're always cleaning up, trying to keep the city clean. But we got so many dumb motherfuckers who don't care and just throw shit out. Like, man, let's start caring about these things. You say you run the block, but you don't do anything to keep the block clean, to keep the block coming being prosperous.
Right.
You're not doing anything for the people on the block. You just shooting up shit, selling dope. How the fuck is that your block? How is that helping the block? So I agree with him 100% on that.
Yeah,
But when he started talking
definitely.
about politics, I mean, I just don't understand. Like, what is he talking about? You can't use politics as a place to prove a point. I want to prove a point that we can have a different opinion. Dog, there's been black Republicans forever.
Right. It's
Colin
just
Powell was
like
a black
1%
Republican.
of them.
It's a lot of black
It's like
Republicans.
2% of the
It's
Republican Party.
Dog. There's been black Republicans ever since the Republican Party has been formed. Martin Luther King was a Republican. There's plenty other people who Republican. It's the party switched. It's people have had other opinions. Fucking Kanye. It's just that people are Democrats for a reason, because the Republicans have used everything in their power everything in their power to keep us down. Democrats is not doing anything to get us to come up, and we get
Definitely.
they haven't done anything to help us on the come up, but they're not doing anything to keep us down as much as the Republican Party is,
Right,
and
right.
how much they live for racism. And that's why I don't agree with him. He went to a party that is pure racism, and that's all they live for. The Braves, they was doing the chop down there. Here come Trump. Let me go do the chop. Make sure I get in on this racism. You know what I mean? They whatever they can do to be racist, they're on it.
Right.
And when you teamed up with them, I lost all respect for you. Regardless, you can you could he could have created his own party, third party, his own everything. No, he teamed up with him and put a red hat on.
A MAGA hat.
Right?
Right.
You could be a Republican, bro. That is not the problem. It's that you followed a dude whose whole platform was hate and racism, and that's when you lost me there. He,
Everything everything that he chose to believe in and back that he jumped behind was all racism.
right, and he said it's to prove a point that we can have. I just
So,
didn't
so
agree
you're
with that.
trying to prove that
Then he was talking about Big Sean didn't
so
come
black
with
people can
him.
be racist too? Is that the proof point you was trying to prove?
I don't know. He didn't. I don't know. We all anybody can be racist. We don't have
Right.
to prove that. We don't want to start on that. But I also I think Kanye is a genius. He's um he's definitely a genius,
When it
man. When
comes
it
to marketing and advertising.
marketing, clothing, music, the guy, hey, you can't be great at everything, man. You could be
You could be a jack
good.
of all
You
trades.
could be good at things, but you can't be. I don't think you
You
could
can't
be
be a
great
master.
in everything. So he
Right.
may not be a good communicator. He may not. He may be an asshole, but he's great at these things. And I think the dude's a billionaire now. Dude is
Yeah.
he's successful.
He's pretty close to being a billionaire, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. And he was talking about his peers. His peers are those people.
That are
Yeah,
billionaires, millionaires. Right.
and we all should be looking to try to get that like that.
But if we don't have, it's just like in that book that we were reading last night.
Right,
Who moved my cheese?
right. You gotta.
If you're not prepared for change, if you don't anticipate change, when change happens,
Hmm.
you're going to be stuck and left behind.
Right, and you got to give it to him, man. He's a trendsetter, and
So the people you hang out with, the people you around, the people you surround yourself with, that all plays an important part of how successful you might
well, and
become.
it's also what you think success is.
Right.
Some people think success is, I have a car and some insurance, and it matter what your level of what you think that is.
Right.
I me myself, if I don't have a million, couple million, I don't believe I'm successful. That's not success to me. I feel as though skating by, it's not success. Some people feel like that is success. So it's level to this shit.
Definitely.
You know what I
Definitely.
mean? But I to end it off with Kanye, it was a great interview. I think the show I didn't really pay too much attention to the show before then, but I will watch it more because I like the way their podcast is set up and everything. Freak Champs and Nori, and you also like how he named his kid after dude Noriega, I think his name
Yeah.
was. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You see the human side of Kanye. He's just a
Right.
normal guy, just like
Because I
everybody else.
definitely
But
was wondering, like, okay, so where the fuck did they come up with Northwest? Like, the child's name is literally Northwest.
we're talking about somebody else though.
But he said his child's name was Nori.
That's a
So
different kid.
that's what I'm saying. He's got Nori, he's got Northwest. Like, how do they,
Come up with the names.
right? You could see the human side on how they actually, what their thought process was on when he came up with the
Yeah.
names.
To Blue Ivy was that blue the blueprint. He pretty much named his baby after the blueprint.
Right.
Jay Z. So who cares what they think? That's how I look at it. But I thought it was pretty cool that he
Right.
did that. He named that after the dude from Drink Champs. That's pretty dope. So like I said, you see the human side, and he is just like us, a normal guy. He's just happened to fall into success because of his work ethic,
Talent
his work ethic. When it came to beats, the dude when
was
he
raw.
said he was spending summers making beats every day. He wasn't joking. This dude was in the lab. That dude, he lived it. And you to be that successful, you have to live things. You can't just half-ass do
You
shit,
have to dedicate yourself
right?
to,
And that's
to
why
things.
people love him because of those things. He's successful, man. People like success. They look up to success. It doesn't matter that he went to MAGA or whatever other things he did that's dumb. People are still going to look to him because he is that successful, and people want to be that too. So if they can figure out
How to
how
get there.
how to get that, maybe it'll rub off on me a little bit. There's some people who live their whole lives dedicated to trying to be Kanye. That's all they do every day. Every post they make, everything they do, and they want to be Kanye. I just want to be Kanye. I see people, they crazy, but
Right.
hey, but he's successful, so I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. Um, but as we roll on through the show, what do you have today, Miss Aisha?
Well, you kind of touched on it a little bit with the Aaron Rodgers stuff and the ivermectin because that goes into the thing of healthcare.
Mm,
Most people are in charge of their own healthcare, right?
right.
You get to say whether or not I like this doctor, I didn't like this doctor, I want to keep this doctor. I don't I don't want to fuck with this doctor ever again, right?
Okay.
But when it comes down to actually dealing with the insurance portion, the back end stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
you start receiving bills like, well, I shouldn't be getting a bill. I pay a premium, I pay for insurance, but people don't realize that some of their plans come with a deductible. Deductibles are outrageous. Deductibles now are starting off at $2,000 for an individual.
When you start talking about this shit, I just want to go to sleep. I hate this shit, dog.
And
it's
then,
so
like,
it's
for you personally, do you want to pay $2,000 just to be seen, just to have your insurance take at least pick up some of the portion of your health care for you?
I hate even thinking about this
Like, that's just ridiculous.
shit.
But like with the way that the company that I work
Oh,
for
yeah.
daily, they're trying to eliminate that portion to where we actually have a team that's dedicated to going out, like saying, say if you needed to have surgery,
Okay.
we have dedicated team members that work on surgeries for our patients, right?
Okay.
What they do is they go out, they outreach the doctor's office that's going to do the surgery.
Right.
They outreach for the anesthesiology that's going to put you under.
Mhm.
They outreach to the facility where you're going to have the surgery at for the operating room.
Okay.
And they gather all the pricing for it and then they negotiate it down. This one lady, we had a patient who was pregnant and about to have a C-section,
Right.
and it was going to cost her $17,000
Okay.
just to deliver the baby.
Right.
We got it down to where she only had to pay like $4,000 out of pocket.
Man. Dog, like I said, man, I hate this shit, man. It's just depression to me. That's
In Arizona, it only costs out of pocket for insurance or for you as a person $2,000 out of pocket.
it's
That's
so
it.
confusing. We shouldn't have to
States
pay
have
money.
different prices for everything.
No, every hospital has different prices for everything.
Right. It doesn't
One,
matter. That's why
the deductibles, the
everything.
insurance, all this shit is just confusing,
And
man.
we're dead last in customer service.
Cause they suck. Hospitals suck. They
Right.
don't care about you. And then at the same time,
But then the insurance companies aren't covering the care for the employees like my job does. They cover my entire they
that's
cover all my health care.
look, man. That's the reason why companies have contractors. They don't want to pay for your health. They don't care if you die.
Like if more companies did that, how much more happier their employees would be?
We should just have universal health care. We shouldn't have to worry about any of this shit. All this deductibles and all this confusing ass shit. It's,
Because then you got your deductible, then you got to pay your out of pocket maximum, and then after your out of pocket maximum, you still got a co-insurance to pay.
like I said, it's just confusing, and I hate it. I've hated it my whole life.
Right. Like
Soon
I
as
had
people
to,
start taking it, it's like instant. Like that dude that who was the vampire that suck people's energy, the energy vampire.
yes,
That's what healthcare is to me. It's an energy vampire.
it really is. And that's because it really
Soon as
is.
soon as
It's
somebody starts talking,
exactly
I
like
just want to
that.
start falling asleep because it's
It's
so
exactly that. It's that
confusing.
energy vampire. It's so confusing. You don't know what's going on. There's
Man.
so many loops and
Oh, if you pay up to this amount, we're gonna pay this amount. But if you pay this, then we'll pay that. But if you
right.
don't
And
have
then the
this, and
hospitals,
if you
if the
don't
patients
spend
are
this, like
calling to get
man,
pricing for it themselves,
man, I
the
just hate my
hospitals
shit
are telling
covered.
the patients one thing, and then they come back into the insurance and say, "Oh, well, the hospital quoted me $1,200. Now I got a bill for $36,000. How?"
Universal health care. See the camera? I'm looking right at you. Just
It's
vote, man. Vote. Universal health care. I'm
if we
sick of
were
this shit.
more, we have to be in charge more of our health. We just have to like we have to be our own healthcare advocates because obviously po- uh, uh, Republicans don't want to deal with healthcare. It's
No,
hard for
it's
Democrats to get
no,
healthcare
no.
passed.
They like the profit. It's the profit.
The
It's
profit,
it's the profit
it's
part.
making the money,
Right.
but
They think they're gonna lose money if it
but then
goes
they
to the
think that the
government.
government is in control of the drug companies.
People are dumb. We talk about that all the time. People are dumb. They don't they always blame the wrong people for everything. We got two people with $1 trillion, but we sitting there yelling at people that make $15 an hour at McDonald's.
Right.
You're the blame for our inflation. That's who we're blaming.
They mad at the Chipotle workers
Poor
because
dude.
they got a $15. They
We
went up to
got three
$15.
people with $1 trillion got all the money and don't want to pay any taxes. You heard any months? I don't want to pay no tax. Don't want to pay shit. Don't want to
You
help the
don't want to
country
pay.
out.
You don't want to pay taxes. You don't want to help. You don't want to feed the poor. You say fuck the
No,
poor.
I could
I
put some
want. I
people.
want my money in my
I
pocket.
want to put some people on Mars.
It goes back to just like that book we was reading last night. The the, the one little person. I want my cheese. I want it back. I'm not changing until I get my cheese back.
Hey, that's how it is, G.
It's mine.
But you want to go ahead and go into the game? You said you had a couple questions. Now,
I
usually we would do this for the guest, but we do it for me. Just we doing a little practice. These a couple practice shows. We're still getting into the realm of being back on this podcast. So
definitely.
we still got to get everything back together. We working out the kinks, but let's run into it.
All right. So this week on the final exam,
Uh-huh. You still working on the name?
yeah, I'm still working on a name that is going to change to be A. All right. So this week's theme
Mhm.
for trivia:
Right.
history.
Okay.
Let's see how much history you know. And with the way we're doing the game this time,
Mhm.
there will be no multiple choice. So whatever you guess is your final answer, and we move on.
All right.
Question one: what was the name of the Pilgrim's ship?
The Mayflower.
What was the first city in the U.S. to host the Olympics?
Los Angeles.
Nope. That would be St. Louis.
What? I should have known that.
Yes, you should have.
Mm.
What was the name of the first capital of the United States?
Pennsylvania.
No,
Pittsburgh.
no. The answer is New York City.
I thought it was Pennsylvania
No.
first.
The building where Abraham Lincoln sits
I know.
is the old
I
city
thought for
hall.
sure it was. All right, I'm wrong. All right, let's go.
When was the first American dollar printed? What year?
Oh, what year?
Yeah. What year was the first American dollar printed?
I would say 1920.
No.
What is
The American dollar is older than 1920. It was first printed in the year 1862.
it? Huh. I thought we was on the gold standard until the early 1900s. Hmm. Guess I'm wrong. There you go.
And I double checked my questions this week too.
Mm,
All right. What is the longest river in the United States?
Mississippi.
Nope.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes, it
It
fucking
is the
is.
Missouri River.
No, it
It
isn't.
is too. I know this because the Missouri River is 2,345 miles, while the Mississippi River is only 2,100 miles long.
The fuck out of here.
You want the
That's wrong.
bonus?
Something right, man. We was told that the Mississippi was the longest when I was in St. Louis.
It is
bro.
not the longest river. It would be the Missouri River. It's going by
Nobody talks
mileage.
about the Missouri River.
It's the mileage. How long is the river?
Nobody cares about Missouri at all. Like it sucks. It's the Mississippi. Nobody cares about the Missouri River, man. I don't even think I've seen that piece of shit. Anyway,
I got a bonus question for you.
I'm probably gonna get it wrong, but what is it?
What was the first university in the United States
Ever?
ever?
Fuck. Wasn't it Ben Franklin that established it?
You got 10 seconds.
Harvard?
Harvard is correct.
Goodness.
And do you know what year Harvard was founded?
17. I don't know. 17 something.
Nope.
What?
Harvard was founded in the year
16.
1636.
Damn, I was thinking 17. 16. Damn.
1636.
Fuck you.
Right.
It's a long time, man.
They were the first ever known school for higher education.
Right. Yeah, man. Motherfuckers been put it down for a while. And that's why I don't listen to people who say education don't matter.
That's why Harvard is always one of the top Ivy schools.
When education has been important for 400 years. So it's very important.
Right.
But I lost.
Well, you got a couple. You got one right.
That's all bad. I will be better next time. But next week we will have a guest. We're gonna have our first guest coming on next week. So we'll have I don't know for sure who we'll have on. But I know we have
We'll
our
give y'all a heads
interview.
up in the middle of the week. Stay tuned for
Definitely.
Wednesday.
But we have an interview with
Brooke Ann Smith on
Brooke Ann
Friday.
Smith on Friday at 12. We'll give you that interview on Saturday during the show. We'll play it and run it that way for people can see that interview with Brooke Ann on her upcoming movie Night Night.
Night night.
Night Night. We have a great director, a great cast in that movie. So we want to talk to her about the film, see what's coming up, and how she feel about the film, and maybe we'll get a good screening, a free screening for it. We can go see it and check it out.
Yeah, I would definitely like that.
That would be dope and exciting. You know what I'm saying? To go check it out, and hopefully we can learn a lot about the film and a lot about her
Definitely.
and keep people informed on what's going on, like we always do.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Until next time, this is Habari Live. Peace.
Holla holla.